on the apex pattern and the apex pattern with the scanner, we'll go over that now, and they're essentially the same thing. The one difference is the scanner actually shows the A, P, E, and X prices using the classic strategy. Okay, the classic apex strategy. And so if I just put apex pattern, then I'm going to get pop up over here. Give it a second, and you have to be an elite member to get it. Then it'll pull out the apex pattern on the chart for me. So A, P, E, X, and very, very simple. Okay, you can use it on time-based bars. You can use it on diagnostic bars, like I have over here on the elite. This is the elite method right here. You can go in and you can do apex pattern with scanner. Now, if I do that, it'll actually show me like again, this is the classic strategy, like the scalping, profit popper, trend catcher strategy. And it'll actually tell you like entry bar, stop price, everything else. So an entry price is going to be one tick below the P, or one tick above the P bar. And then your stop is going to be like one tick below the P or one tick above the P. Alright, so if we go all the way over here, it'll show you, right here we got in, stop, and then, technically the apex will be confirmed at when it breaks the low of this price over here, 36.97. So when it breaks it by one tick, 36.96. This can be really confusing if you're looking at that scanner and trying to trade with the Apex Elite rules, because we now enter ticks above the E, not the P. So the entry price will be off. We also use our stop 5 ticks from, or 6 ticks from the P, not just 1 tick away. And we use the diagnostic bars on top of that. So the scanner can really throw you off if you're trying to use the Apex Elite strategy. I left it on there for the classic strategy traders. Okay? And what the Apex pattern is built on how the market movers move the market. So they'll go down and, they drive the market down. Boom, boom, boom. This is where the market fell to fill any more orders. They pull it back. This is where the market fell to fill any more orders at this point. Okay? And so pivot. And therefore, that's where we'd want to place a stop, is above the pivot, because the market stopped filling buy orders, aggressive buy orders, above the market. Market starts dropping back down, and then we get, an entry. We get in right here when it breaks the low of the P. So we don't get in on this, this inside bar stuff. We wait for it to break the low. Breaks the low, we get in, goes down. When it breaks that low, okay, when it finally does actually break the low of where it failed to fill sell orders, well, it fills them, and now we have an X. We've completed the apex pattern. That pattern exists over and over and over again. And again, time-based bars, diagnostic bars, it's everywhere. All day and night. Obviously, it'll be bigger. You'll get bigger moves in the mornings than you are in like the evening sessions. And on evening sessions, you may need to move to 4-minute bars because you may not be able to see crap on diagnostic bars because it's not moving at all. Okay? But, because diagnostic bars require like the market to move, say, 6 ticks, or they won't give you another bar. So you can check it out on, evening time frames, and there's usually not near as much activity. Over here, like the euro is not known for moving like at all at night. And so you can see, maybe where some potential trades were at. As a warning, we always add the MVP as a filter. Okay, so we go in and make sure you do have the MVP line on there as a filter, meaning I need a red MVP and a red apex to take an entry off the E there. I need a green MVP and a green apex to take an entry off a long E. And that'll save me from a lot of bad trades. A lot of bad trades by doing that. Okay? The reason that this is so important is the apex pattern doesn't flip, okay, until it's made an apex on the other side of the last power line. And the power line is where the P is. So that last major pivot point, like right there, right there, right there, right there, until it's made an A, P, E, and X, which is higher high with a lower high, where you break the high, then you break the high of that high. So higher high, lower high, lower high, lower high, okay? Break the high of the previous bar, E, and then break the high of the A, X, until that happens with all of the highs in between A and X, with all of the highs being greater than the power line, you won't get an apex reversal, which is good. It keeps us out of a lot of chop. The bad thing is, what if it does this? It goes boom, boom, over and over again, okay? And that's where the MVP is going to come in. It's going to save you from that mess. So if we go back in and we throw on the MVP on here, then when the market is flying on down, and then it starts to get into that big chop mess. See, it didn't break the low of the E, okay? But it'll help you on not taking just trades over and over and over again in chop. You may get one, you may not. You may be able to avoid a couple of losses in the process, but you'll definitely avoid a lot of losses by using that. Okay, so make sure you use the MVP with the apex. Works incredibly well. It's my favorite strategy. I did it for years. I used to plot this thing manually on the bars every single day. I'd plot the power lines. So now it auto plots for you and works great. If you want to check out the classic strategy, then right click, go to strategies, go to Apex Strategy Classic. Okay? And this is a mess. Okay? It's like if you don't know how to use it. But if you just want to look at it for fun, you can actually turn on the historical. And Ninja is not perfect on its historical plotting on strategies. I'll tell you that right now. So it'll have sometimes it'll get mixed up on the entry and the exit. But you can go in and basically you can set start time, stop time, what days it can trade. You can go in here and say minimum reward, like how much between entry and exit, E and X, does there have to be? This will only trail stops on power lines. It does not use the elite rules. We are making one that uses the elite rules. This one does not do it. It does not use MVP to filter. It does not use MVP to trail stop. It does not use velocity bars to trail stop. It'll only trail on a new power line. Okay? The profit popper will get on the E. It'll take profit right before the X. The trend catcher will trail the stop on each successive power line. You can define the maximum risk. If you put 0, it'll basically not worry about it, but you can actually say maximum risk, maximum positions, maximum total positions. If you don't know what to do, just leave everything alone. Okay? Don't worry about it. Just to check it out for fun. You can even use the volatile trend line and the choppy market warning to filter out trades automatically. And if we go down a little bit lower, and there's a lot of little settings on here. One of those is you'll want to change this to enabled, and if you want to see historical things, it'll actually fire off trades in your demo account. If you want to see the historical trades, then you can go up here, and let's see, show historical, so we can change that to true. And hit apply, and it'll actually go back and figure out the entire apex all the way back and show you like every trade and how it worked. So you'll see like green lines and red lines, and it takes a couple minutes because it's plotting and figuring out a lot of little details along the way. There it goes. All right, so you go in here, and like I said, we had some crazy volatility. Now this doesn't include any of the elite rules, which is why we're so big on. I don't really teach it. People, we used to use a lot of style when we traded this. But basically, like, there's an entry, there's the profit popper, took profit. There's another entry, trailing the stop, took profit. So that one, got in barely, got out, because it didn't wait for it, like, ticks below the E, and, there's all these little bitty things. There's another one that took profit, another one that took profit. So there's a lot of them. But it shows all the profit poppers, all the trend catchers. Some people just turn off the profit poppers and just look at the trend catchers. But as long as it's a trending day, it's going to rock. If it's not, it's going to just get like splattered without the stuff that we've taught you with the MVP filters and with the deviation levels and the trailing stops. So I get a lot of questions on it, and I just wanted to give you a chance to actually see it and know what it is. But 3.0, hopefully within 60 days or less. So we are working on tying in. We got about 5 more little things we're trying to do on one piece, and then we're moving into 3.0 full throttle. All right, that is the Apex pattern.